Good morning, people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Sunday. You know, I'm going to talk about something like I normally do. And, like, I sit up here and listen to, like I said, I've been diving into both camps. I've been well indulged in the outside. And I know our arguments. And I straight up dove into what you call these feminist, swirlers, and diversity movements. And for what I look at with these divestors and these feminist black women, they come with a whole lot of bullshit that you can easily unravel and debunk. And like I told one of these divestors, just come out and say the truth. Don't talk about black men inadequate. Because we are already showing y'all what black men have to work with. We don't have the structure. Like y'all say, black men, we powerless. As a lot of them say, we powerless, we don't do this and that. We don't have the structure of white supremacy, even though that structure is unraveling itself. And y'all gonna get ready to see in the next few years, because now you got white men running around here foaming at the mouth, looking at their situation, because now due to the fact they don't got no white male privileges following shit, now they feel it's gonna be a level playing field, and they never could compete in a level playing field. That's why white males always threw stumbling blocks in front of black men. They always did that shit because they don't want to play on a fair level playing field, because they knew if they played on a level playing field, they knew they would fail. To me, that's signs of an inferiority complex. Because if you was that superior and confident in your abilities, they wouldn't have never done all the shit to stifle black men and black people and black men in particular, and protected themselves. But now that white male supremacy is falling to shit, that is too expensive to uphold. You know, my shout out to Sarge Willie P. Now these white people are foaming at the mouth. Even though now they got Donald Trump in, you got them losing, still losing. Because now, like I told black men and black people in general, we gonna sit back, sit this one out, and let white people deal with their own shit. We don't want to have nothing to do with that. Like white people did for all y'all black people, that's real black people. Now I'm talking about not the bootlicks and stepping fetching niggas and bed wenches and shit. I'm talking about real black people. We gonna sit this one out and let white people handle their shit. Because now you seeing shit bubble up to the top of the pot. In the crock pot, the top is, you got bubbles all around the top of that motherfucker. In the slow cooker. So now these white boys, they becoming more embracing with the shit they doing. Even to the point where one of the surviving only black towns that actually survived, which people don't know, you do actually still have all black towns. Like this town in Cincinnati is one of them, and it's actually a nice all black town where they got businesses and stores and shit. Why you think the white supremacists, the white nationalists and shit came down there to that town with neo-Nazi flags, and some of y'all black women like to date them neo-Nazis. So they came down there with their neo-Nazi flags, all there trying to strike fear in these black people. Heart. Marching without the armed, with no armed police, just, you had a little police presence, because we all know white folks, they gonna protect their own. Well, they didn't expect all these armed black men and women that were in the military, expats. They didn't expect all these black brothers and black sisters to pop up with their AR-15s and all their weapons and their Kevlar armor. They didn't expect that shit. For you black women, y'all white neo-Nazi zaddies who y'all worship, they got caught off guard and got their ass handed to them. Left their Confederate flags, left their fucking swastika flags, and you know what them brothers and sisters did with them motherfuckers? You know what they did with them? They symbolically wiped them flags with their ass. Just took the flags and wiped them on symbolic with their ass. Them white boys didn't come back to get their flags. See, what we're learning about you black women's white zaddy, that he's a blatant coward. He's a blatant coward. See, that's why they get with y'all, and then they take all their punishment on y'all, be beating the shit out of y'all when y'all get in a relationship with them. Because you know why? The same punishment they inflict on y'all, they wish they could inflict on black men, but they know a nigga will put a foot up their ass. They know a nigga will whoop their ass. That's why they don't do the shit they do with us. That's why when they say something out of pocket, we don't have to do nothing but look at y'all white men that y'all with. Look at their ass. And they I'm not black. I mean, I'm not racist, you know. I like black people. My wife black. Her name is Keisha. And y'all think that's gonna protect y'all ass. Y'all black women think motherfuckers like that gonna nut up that quick, gonna protect y'all ass. And when you did have a white boy to show his ass to a black man, he gonna fuck with an old ass black man that can't really defend himself. That's what they be doing. They go after motherfuckers who defenseless. That's why them white boys y'all black women worship when it shot all those old elderly black women up at Tops grocery store up there in Buffalo. That's why that kid, what's his name? That little white boy went into that church and shot all those black people up, killed them, and they let them in the church. You know how how people are. Our people, some of the most kind-hearted motherfuckers on the planet. We accept anybody. And that motherfucker went there, that white boy y'all black women will get with, went up in there and shot all those black people up at church, worshiping God on a Sunday. This y'all white man who y'all love, who y'all say that's better than black men. That's one thing black men ain't gonna do is go into a motherfucker, even if they enemies up in their church. Them brothers will wait till that dude get far away from their church as possible before they put in work on that brother. Because they ain't gonna do that. They got enough heart not to do that. And see, this is another thing y'all always, and I be seeing these bootleg niggas that talk like they never lived in the motherfucking hood. White folks that talk that shit, you black women that talk that shit ain't never been to the hood. Or quote unquote Blackistan. If y'all don't know the politics of the hood, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Because in y'all mind, y'all think them niggas just up in there killing each other up, shooting each other up like it ain't nothing. Nope, y'all don't understand the politics because y'all outsiders. Y'all think them brothers up in there just making themselves out of bullet bags. Y'all don't understand the complexities of shit. So y'all run y'all mouth, especially you white motherfuckers, you paper with a hunky. Run y'all mouth about shit y'all don't know nothing about. Not to say that at least all the illegal weapons that come into the community come from the white man to bring them in. Not even mentioning the drugs they get come from the white folks that let the drugs come in. But I will say this, is to still kind of put the blame on them niggas because they can say, nah, I ain't gonna do that. But due to the fact that they live in poverty and they need the way to come up, they gonna sell them drugs. But selling them drugs, they gotta protect their block and their property. What happened? They get into shootouts with other blocks over turf. Now they'll say, oh, this is savage, but when you come up with a movie where white people did the equivalent of that, you come up with what? Tombstone and the OK Corral, you come up with the infamous killing down there in Chicago. What they call that, the Chicago massacre. You come up with that, where them gangsters killed up all them gangsters in Chicago, Al Capone. But white folks, and we ain't gonna talk about the Middle Ages, how Europeans was butchering the shit out of each other, and they wanted to call somebody a goddamn savage. Y'all went around the world, come in with y'all ships, like y'all did to the Japanese, y'all did to the Indians, y'all did to the Africans. Y'all coming there with gunboat supremacy, and then tell people to force people to trade with y'all. So we ain't gonna talk about y'all white man's dirt. You all are not a goddamn moral compass around the world. I'll tell you that goddamn. But, like I said, a lot of these black women, they'll get into relationships with these brads, and these brads start beating the shit out of them, abusing them, calling them NB. It goes further than the bedroom, because it was once turning these black women on for them to call you my favorite nigger bitch, while they hitting them from the back. And they up there smiling, really getting wet, creamy wet off there. But when it goes outside the bedroom, it goes into the family where they call you, they making jokes, talking about you, and you sit up there and suffer in silence. And see, black men that are date, which I mean, you got your buck dancing coons too. But black men that are date, they know not to come to them like that, especially Tyrone, 7'3" and muscular. They ain't gonna come to Tyrone like that. They gonna come out saying all kind of different shit. Cause they know they say that shit to Tyrone. Tyrone will end up, like I said, putting the foot up their ass. Or they'll end up calling the foot on Tyrone for whooping somebody in their family ass that said something out of pocket. That's what Tyrone gonna do. That's why Tyrone, when he found out that her family member racist, that's why he don't go around their family. But the funny thing is, black people accept that white motherfucker in our family. Due to our caring nature, you can bring a racist white motherfucker home, and black people will still treat that motherfucker with respect just because he with your ass. And then y'all ass end up dead. Then that family got to get up there and try to find out how their daughter was killed and shit, how they was done to her, like their little sister up there in Milwaukee. Like that sister up there in Milwaukee that was brutally killed and chopped up, which none of y'all divestors talk about, because y'all don't want to talk about that shit, because y'all don't care about your own. There's one sister I seen talking about that accountability, until y'all be careful on who y'all date. Because I'm going to tell you why she had that caution. She probably ran into a whole lot of them white dudes that were like that. She gonna say something, at least she did say y'all be careful about the white men y'all date and choose. Because the other black women, they ain't gonna tell you that. They'll let Brad send you to the upper room and shit. And that happening a lot. Not saying that you don't have these Beckys that send Tyrone to the upper room, like they sent that nigga down there who was talking shit about black women, and even his own mama, talking about how much he worshiped that white girl, and then that same little paperwood bitch shot his ass and killed him. But y'all thought I wasn't gonna have, y'all thought I was gonna have love. I definitely don't have love for Becky. Definitely don't have love for her. At least I love y'all enough to tell y'all dumb nigga ass the truth. But that bitch I don't care for, so don't think, oh, he must date white women. Nah, bitch, I don't play in powder sugar. I don't play in the snow. I ain't knocking brothers that do, just like I ain't knocking you that date white men. But I don't go out like that. I don't play in the snow, baby. I roll myself in chocolate and caramel.